The NFL season is over. In preseason, I gave you 5 NFL future bets. It's time to find out how it did. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for checking out this episode. This video doesn't have any bets on it. Instead, this video is going to take a look back on those 5 preseason NFL future bets that I gave you guys, and let's go ahead and see how they did. Let me remind you guys in terms of what we did in the preseason in terms of NFL future bets. We gave you guys 5 of those bets. We put $100 on each of those bets. So that means $500 went out of the window. Let's go ahead and see how many of those Benjamins returned back to us. Let's go ahead and first start off with the loser of our first NFL future bet. You guys remember I gave you guys Washington NFL football team to go ahead and be the division winner there in the NFC East. That was obviously a loser. Not only were the Cowboys obviously really good, they're obviously going to be a threat, I think, in the playoffs and maybe have a decently long run in the playoffs, but also they lost their starting quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that obviously went completely up against me. When most teams lose their starting quarterback, it's going to be really tough to overcome that. There's hardly 32 good quarterbacks in this league, let alone a team to be able to overcome that and have enough depth. Now, that give Tyler Heineke some credit. He's pretty good, did good in last season's playoff there up against the Buccaneers, but not a guy that you want to go and rely on for 17 games. Would have liked to have Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's the more experienced quarterback. Sure, he may give you some bad plays and some bad interceptions, but he would have given them a chance to win more of the games than what Heineke did. And then defense, they weren't quite as good as they were in the beginning of the season in terms of, comparing them to last season. They came out of the gates, they struggled a little bit, and then they really kind of got going there midway. And ultimately, though, that defense just wasn't as good as it was there in 2020. So NFL Washington football team to be the NFC East division winner was my first NFL future, and that one did not come home as a winner. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the second one. What about the Denver Broncos under 8.5 season wins? That one was a winner. We got a winner right there as the Broncos did not go up over 8.5 wins up on the season. Look, that one started off a little bit shakier than what I thought because you guys remember in the video when I gave you these 5 bets, I was banking on Drew Lock being the starter for a couple games, maybe a few games, and then them eventually turning the page and going to Teddy Bridgewater. Well, Fangio went to Bridgewater from the start. I think it's because largely in part he knew his job was on the line entering this season, and Bridgewater is the better quarterback, so he made the smart decision and going to Bridgewater there. They started off good. They got 3 wins there, but ultimately they got 3 wins against bad teams, and once they gained up against good competition, you saw the Broncos weren't a good team. Offensive-wise, they just struggled for really much of the course of the season. Defense actually wasn't that bad, was able to keep them in games, keep them competitive, but the offense could never put up enough points to really, make them a viable option week in and week out to go ahead and get some wins. And then overall, at least thankfully for me, and I think in this bet, because if I would have had Bridgewater all season long, this bet probably would have been in trouble. But thankfully, they did go ahead and go to Bridgewater there late in the season due to injuries and what have you. So Drew Lock came in. He's just really, really bad. I mean, he's just really, really bad. So having him be the quarterback there for the last few games definitely helped us out. And then Vic Fangio, just a really bad coach, and he was part of the reason why we also made this bet. I mean, look what he did in Week 18 going up against the Chiefs. You're down by 7 late in the fourth quarter, and you're kicking a field goal? Like, what are you doing? Everybody in America knows you're getting fired after this game. At least show the owners you're trying to fight, like you're trying to win a game. You're kicking a field goal there? You got to go for it. You got to at least attempt to get the touchdown, not kick a field goal. So, yeah, Fangio and his poor decision-making was certainly part of the reason why we made that bet. He stinks. Drew Lock stinks. That offense stinks. Under 8.5 was the winner, so we obviously put out $100 to get that back. What came back from that was $216.88. All right, what about my third NFL future bet? Let's go to another winner here. Let's do Alvin Kamara under 950.5 rushing yards. Again, that was a winner as he only got 898 yards. Only was a participant for 14 games this season. Talked about, though, when I gave you guys this bet, he had never done 950 yards over, so he obviously still has never gone up over 950 yards. And outside of his rookie season, he's also never played a full game season. Obviously, this was 17 games. I thought that would really hinder his ability to play a full game season. That's just more pounding. That's just more beats. And for a guy who, outside of his rookie season, hasn't played a full complement of games in an entire season, I thought he was going to struggle in terms of being available for all 17 games. Even in that, that's kind of a passing offense. I know Drew Brees obviously wasn't there, and that offense was going to maybe evolve a little bit run heavy, or run heavier more. But yeah, still with Jameis Winston, his bad decision making, he gets hurt. Taysom Hill takes over, he gets hurt. Trevor Siemian steps in there for a little bit. That offense never got going. They were playing from the deficit for a fair amount, and had to throw the ball in that game. Just Alvin Kamara under 950.5 rushing yards. You can look to probably run that bet again next year, because it's going to be the same justification next season. It's something that he's never done in his NFL career, and I don't expect him to be a participant for 17 games again next season. Why? The guy is not available for every game. They get hurt. That running back, they take a pounding at that position. That is one of the brutal positions there in the NFL where guys just take a beating. So Alvin Kamara under 950.5 rushing yards. That was a winner. So $100 went out. What came back? $192.90. All right, what about my fourth NFL future bet? I gave you guys that the last winless team in the NFL would be the New York Giants, and that one, unfortunately, was a loss right there. I believe the Lions were the last winless team in the NFL. Boy, I thought, the Jets almost were kind of close. I mean, obviously, they got the win, what was it, week 6-ish or so up against the Titans, but if they don't get that win, then maybe they are the last winless teams. I mean, the Lions, boy, I mean, almost beating the Ravens there one of those weeks. I mean, they didn't almost deserve to be the last winless team. The Lions were a really good team in terms of just being competitive and being in games. I don't think they deserve to be the last winless team, if I'm recalling correctly, and it was the Detroit Lions. But yeah, in terms of the Jets, though, not a good team, terrible quarterback. Zach Wilson, rookie quarterback, he struggled exactly like I thought he would. The team overall struggled, played a lot of rookies so far this season. So, yeah, it just took them a while to kind of get going and really be good and be competitive. So, that was an unfortunate bet. I thought maybe we had a chance right there. But, yeah, it was not the New York Jets. They were not the last winless team. So, there you go. Got 2 winners so far. We got 2 losers. What is the last NFL future bet I gave you? It was the Baltimore Ravens to miss the playoffs. Ooh, that was a good win right there. Obviously, losing Lamar Jackson late in the season obviously helped me out, but injuries are part of the game. And when you're talking about, taking over-unders or projecting a team to do really good, at least in the NFL, it's kind of good to kind of take the under, kind of take a team to not achieve maybe what the preseason projections are, because injuries happen in the NFL, obviously. I mean, look at Ryan Fitzpatrick there with Washington. Lamar Jackson going down here with the Ravens. Injuries play a part. So, yeah, that obviously helped us out, them right there. But, coming down to the stretch, though, boy, the Colts tried to screw us. Week 18, the Colts tried to screw us, because if the Colts would have won that game, the Ravens would have automatically been eliminated. We obviously know that the Colts lost to the Jags, so that kept the Ravens alive, but thankfully the Steelers came through for us there. The Steelers did us a solid. I need to send the Steelers there a gift package, because they were able to knock off the Ravens there in overtime and eliminate the Ravens from the playoffs. This was a big win. This was almost a 3-1 win. This was a monster win of the Ravens missing the playoffs. $100 went out. $360.94 came back. All right, so to go ahead and recap it, 5 NFL future bets at $100 each meant $500 went out. What came back? $770.72 came back. So that's a profit of $270.72. Yeah, really good right there with our NFL future bets. You guys remember that was on the heels of our MLB future. I only gave you guys one MLB future bet because I thought the 2020 season was kind of obviously shortened there due to the pandemic, but I thought that made the 2021 season a little bit difficult to predict. So I just made one $500 MLB future bet. Now it's Giancarlo Stanton under 38.5 home runs. That was a winner right there. Now we're a winner again in our NFL future bets, winning $270. We're on a nice roll here with these future bets in MLB and NFL. The next time I'll give you guys future bets will be this upcoming MLB season. So we obviously know that starts basically early April. So maybe sometime in the month of March. Look for me to go ahead and put out some MLB future bets. Hey guys, go ahead and drop a comment on this video if you rode any of those 3 winners. If you rode Denver Broncos up under 8.5 season wins, if you took those Ravens to go ahead and miss the playoffs, or if you went ahead and took Alvin Kamara up under 950.5 rushing yards, drop a comment on this video. Or if you cashed one of your own future bets, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know, and hit that like button as well if I helped you put money up in your pocket. Feels good to cash some futures. Let's see if we can't do it again. Thanks for joining me on this episode and recapping the NFL season and these NFL futures with me. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching till the end. I'm Jason Mattis. Any love you can show by giving me a like, a subscription, or a comment, or even just share this video is very much appreciated. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to increase your chances of locking in the same odds as I talked about today. And check out my other great videos in these corners.